some things in my life that I've been doing that I was supposed to, and how they kind of turned out like pretty deadly. Like things that I thought I had to do were actually really bad for me. Um, like I've done things to fit in various places. I've done things to fit in at organizations, work. Um, I've feared that not doing something like that would lead to some kind of abandonment or being left behind or not getting what I needed. Um, but I did learn eventually, and I figured it out, that even though in many cases, like I felt powerless, like I just had to completely put myself on the back burner so that I wouldn't lose everything I had around me or everything I thought I had around me that I wanted, right? That there was a way out of that, that there was a way to choose. We're going to talk about this is an important one today. We're going to talk about these three things that you can do to break through when you feel powerless. One of which is a huge thing to actually not do, a huge mistake that I'm seeing people make right now, like a lot of people, like even in the media, and it's a big one. It's a really big one. So we'll get to that. So I am Owen. Thank you for joining today. It's always a pleasure. I love chatting with you. Please subscribe. Hit that subscribe button below on YouTube, and then join our group for the your fellow abundance hackers here on Facebook. I will put the link here in the chat. I hope that you will join the group. We'd love to see and have you as part of the conversation that we're having in there. Um, when I started my own business, I was very involved with a number of different like referral organizations that I used to like networking organizations to connect with other business people and drum up some business. And that was really the core of my business. That was really how I met most of the new people that I worked with. It's how I got new businesses. It was a lot of pretty much just a lot of referrals. It's where most of my connections were amongst these different networks. It was my sort of community as well, and it was what I was sort of planning on building up for the future. But what I didn't realize was that some politics got in the way at one of them, and I got a phone call basically threatening my status with the organization if I did business with somebody else who they were having a fight with. And yeah, I was sort of faced with this choice of like, okay, am I gonna give in to that? But like it wasn't sort of an option for me. So I held my ground and lost this connection, and it really yeah, I did lose a lot of what I had because that was a big part of my community. That was a big part of my business and how I built that. And it went away. So of course I lost it. But what I learned was that it was kind of stuff I needed to lose anyway, right? Like I had lost just that which was there, but I hadn't really given any thought to, is this where I want to be? Is this what I want to be doing? Is this, how I want to be doing business with these are people that I want in my life, right? So I kind of was forced into this situation, and I'm grateful that I was because it really helped open my eyes to a lot of the other options that I had. And this is the craziest thing is that these other options had always been available to me. They were always available to me. I just hadn't seen them because I had believed that doing this referral thing, doing this networking thing was exactly what I needed. So I did everything I could to make that happen. I completely missed that there are opportunities to reach out to people beyond local networks, right? To use the power of the internet to create communities all around the world. So, but when that all happened, like I felt in the dumps. Like I felt powerless. Like I lost all of this stuff, and who was I to go, to fight this battle, right? Who was I to go up against, a big organization? I felt like I'd sort of been locked up and handcuffed a little bit. And I notice now that I sometimes get that feeling, but I notice it's happening on a large scale. A lot of people are feeling that way right now, especially just with what is happening with the coronavirus, feeling powerless to even just plan for the future, powerless to understand how to protect yourself or your family sometimes. Like I get it, and I feel that powerlessness. What's up, Doug? How are you? Doug says, "Hi, Owen. Tuning in from Victoria, BC. Welcome from north of the wall, my brother." So I the thing is that we talked about this before. There is free will. We can't control the events that are happening around us, but we can control how we see them. So when I was faced with that situation of losing a big chunk of my life and my business all at once, I had two choices. Really, I could allow myself to go down the spiral of despair and depression, and just be woe is me, and I lost, or I could choose to be like, okay, well, there are new opportunities right now, right? We talked about this. Some forests have to burn in order for them to reseed. The seeds in the pine cones only come out in extreme heat. So sometimes there has to be that fire, right? So it's all about figuring out what are those other opportunities available to you. It is about keeping your mind open enough to understand that, like, at no point ever are you actually truly powerless. You might be in a situation that isn't going the way that you wanted it to, but it doesn't mean you're powerless. Okay, so here are three tips to get into control, to get back in control, right? First of all, figure out what it is that you actually want. Like, write it down. Write just one thing that it is that you want to accomplish. Usually, if I'm in a situation where I feel powerless, then I'm in a state where things are happening to me, right? I'm seeing life as it is happening to me, and I don't have any control over it. But the minute that I start to say, like, just something that I want, and it doesn't even have to be like, I'm going to go start a $50 billion company, right? It could simply just be that, I'm going to get 10,000 steps in today, right? The minute you start writing down something it is that you want, you have changed your mindset completely from life is happening to me to life is happening for me. And you're actually able to start shaping events in the way that you want. So, take a look at the little things. Like, if it is a bigger project, like, so even if it is 10,000 steps a day, but maybe it's a little bit of a bigger project, write down then the little tiny things that need to be done in order to accomplish this large goal. Make sure that you've got, like, just the little steps, something that you can do simply every day that will get you toward this goal. Okay, and then just write all those things down, and make sure that you follow them, and then you will be on your way to doing that. We'll talk about what this one thing is in just a sec. You might remember it, but here's the one thing that you really, really should just please don't do. So this morning I'm hearing on the news, the story is circulating among strangely highly placed, like, news people and whatnot, that coronavirus was invented in a lab in China and it didn't come from nature, which is preposterous. Like, there's so much science about all of this, but this is an example of when people are feeling powerless, they're looking for someone to blame. They are looking for an easy solution that makes them feel better about the situation that is far beyond their control, far beyond anybody's control and even comprehension. And I get it. It is terrifying that there are things in this universe that are beyond our control and our understanding. But at the same time, the other side of that is that it's kind of a relief. I see that as a bit of a relief. Like, I don't have to worry about all this other stuff, right? It is beyond my control. There's nothing I can do about it. And I probably will never fully understand a lot of this stuff. We, as a society, we may not for a while. But to react to being powerless by creating lies, by creating pain, by creating fear, by creating distance between other people and hate to make yourself feel better, just don't do that. Don't do that. It won't put you back in control, and it won't make you feel good ultimately. But what will make you feel good is you're working towards this one goal. And what is this one goal? It is your passion. Right? Do you know what your passion is? Do you spend an hour a day working on advancing your passion? And if you don't know what your passion is, do you spend an hour a day looking for what your passion is? Or does this seem like just a completely foreign concept, right? Well, If you're feeling powerless, then that's exactly the time to be talking about your passion, to be exploring your passion, to be diving into things that make you happy so that you can make others happy in that same regard. So if you need help getting out of this mindset, if you need help getting out of this feeling of that I'm a victim, that life has happened to me, that there's nothing I can do, and change it from that scarcity mindset into an abundance mindset of I am powerful, can I can move forward. I can do something. I just have to take the responsibility to pick it out, right, and to move forward. So, if you need help with that, or you just want some guidance, then go ahead and get your free copy of How to Unlock and Unleash Your Superpower. It's an ebook at owenjward.com. Just go there right now. Tell me where to send it, and I will get you your free copy right now. It's your guide to go from scarcity to abundance. So, tell me how you're feeling. Tell me if you're feeling powerless. But also know that if you feel powerless, that you can get out of that right away, because you never